Again, I'm on the road, so I won't be answering any questions or looking at my phone. I just have a recording right now while I talk. Um, Once I get to my destination, then I'll answer any questions. I'm pretty sure I won't have any though in this video. The title of this live video is "What's this channel for?" Now, some of you have noticed I have about 32,000 subscribers, and I got that through probably. I think I've had this channel for about maybe 2 going on 3 years already. The reason I first started this channel was because I was in the keto diet, and it was just to basically track my progress, give some advice. Really did enjoy the keto diet. I'd probably go back to it again. Right now, I'm doing a variation of it, but not exactly keto. So after that, I started uploading martial art videos. Some where I'm training with other practitioners, some from my old martial arts school, a few lion dance videos, dragon dance videos. They usually get confused, but they're lions. Some Chinese New Year's, some exhibitions, events, and then I put some random stuff too. Some cooking videos, food videos, just like anybody. So really, what my channel's about now, it's more of the Christian faith. I do want to make that clear that yeah, you might see a bunch of random things, but it is a way to spread the gospel. Now, I'm normally working 50 plus hours a week, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm spending time with my family. So you won't see me upload every day. You won't see me put a short every single day. That's why recently I've been doing a few cooking videos. So I've been actually every chance I get, so I can cook, I do so, and I'll record so I can speak while I'm cooking. So that's another reason why you see me doing some cooking, is so it gives me a chance to actually pick a topic and speak about it. Now, most of the topics I speak about are of the Christian faith, martial arts. Um, I have another channel where I talk about motivational speaking. But ever since I began the Christian faith, I realized that most of the leadership skills, most of the tactics used for motivational speaking are actually in the Bible. Now, that's probably one video I would love to make. I need to do more research on how to present it. But aside from the Bible being the Word of God, it's also a way to live your life. And there are a lot of tools in the Bible. A lot of tools so that you don't basically, what's the word I can use? You don't self-destruct yourself. You don't destroy yourself. Because everything in the Bible, a lot of the problems people have faced are problems that we still face now today. It's just done it's just in a different manner, presented differently, but the concept is the same. So, yeah, my channel is called Conversations with a New Christian because I consider myself a new Christian. For those of you who don't know, I've probably said it before in some of my videos, but um, I'm 40 years old right now, and I did not know the gospel of Jesus Christ until last year. Now, I would go to church, a Christian church with my wife for the past 10 years, on and off, but I literally did not know the gospel. So, you know, my testimonial is nothing big. It's just a realization that, wow, I didn't know that. And that did change my whole life around. But aside from that, I do put random things. I mean, I'll find something on the ground. I'll think it's funny, and I'll just share it with everybody. One example is that I like watching the reaction videos when it comes to movies or music. So I guess a version of that is I see something that I think is funny or something that's useful, and I'll share it on YouTube. I feel that if I have 32,000 subscribers, I'm willing to share anything that I find entertaining, or anything that I actually might find important. Um, I don't really mention my job here, what I do, but I do give hints about it. But my role is in leadership, training, management. So I do have skill on that. I could honestly say that I've been in charge in an occupation. I've been in charge since the age of 18. So the first job I got into, I moved up pretty quick, and that's actually because of the martial arts. In the martial arts, when I was maybe about 15, 16 years old, our martial arts teacher would have us go to exhibitions. We would give seminars in other places, other countries, basically south of the border. Guadalajara was one of the big ones. We would help train other martial arts schools in the lion dance. Those of you who don't know what the lion dance is, it's kind of like the dragons you see in the parades, like on TV. The lion is just a smaller version. So I was a shy person, so that took me out of my shell. Going to the events and being in charge. We had fundraisers, so we had to raise money for our Chinese dragon, which we rarely use. It takes 9 people, but I could say that the martial arts was a big help to break me out of my shell, and get me more into speaking in public, less shy, not really scared of what other people thought of how I spoke. Like right now, I could fumble my words, and I'm not going to lose any sleep about it if I make a mistake. I rarely edit my videos. I mean, I should, because it's more entertaining. Because I do find enjoyment when I watch a good YouTuber, a good influencer, make a very entertaining video, and I subscribe to them. I give them props. I don't have the time to be doing that. Like right now, I'm driving. I'm gonna go pick up some groceries. Just finished my shift. This is basically my YouTube time, you know. But to say I'm gonna actually edit something, uh, it's going to be a long shot, because I could be playing with my kids. Uh, you know, I could be, I don't know, working with them, asking what their problems in school are. Seeing what they need, spending time with my wife. Watching a movie, watching a horror movie. I know I know I'm a Christian, but that's one of the few things that I still haven't had a chance to break, is the horror movies. But it's a journey. But yeah, you won't see me edit too many of my videos, but you will hear me speak what's on my mind on any topic. And two of you have told me they do find value in my opinion. Their opinions. I mean, I don't claim to know anything, especially in the Christian faith. I don't claim to use my logic for anything. And if any logic that I use when I talk about the Gospels, the Old Testament, the New Testament, it's from the Bible. I'm not gonna change anything for my benefit. If it sounds harsh, it's harsh. If it sounds great, it's great. So you'll see many things. I mean, you'll see future training videos of me training with a few of my fellow practitioners, the KC fighting method. You'll see that for now, because that's one of the big ones I really want to look into. My style is kung fu, and that's pretty being really general. So my style has been Shaolin Five Animals Kung Fu. It's been Lohan style Kung Fu. Um, learn various animals. Uh, I could honestly say that because of what my martial art teacher knows, I actually learned as well. So I'm really good at checking my comments. If you have a cooking idea, I'll try to cook it. You know, if you have a martial arts suggestion of something that you'd want to see me practice, I'll do that too. I'll talk about it. I'll research it. The thing about martial arts, and I feel many martial artists can agree with me on, is that if you spent a good amount of time studying the martial arts, like not just going for self-defense, but actually studying the way the anatomy, the way a technique works. When you see another martial art, you tend to understand a lot better. You're not really starting from scratch. You understand like some movements. A lot of different martial arts styles have similar movements. Like currently, I was watching a video on the KC fighting method, and he was swinging at his at the focus mitt, and he was using a lot of his waist, a lot of his stance, but he doesn't mention what stance he's using. But in Kung Fu, I could already be like, oh, you know what? That looks like a tiger on the rock. That looks like an empty stance. So we have names for those stances. Any little tiny pivot, we have a name for it. It's just so we can identify it, so we can train a lot better. But in a lot of these more modern fighting styles, you don't really give it a name. You just show it and you do it. But there's a lot of value in actually knowing what something is called. Because when I saw this this KC fighting instructor showing his students didn't seem to have the same the same concept around it. They weren't using the same footwork. It looks so. I'll put you this way: in the KC fighting method, it should look like you're fighting multiple opponents. Even though you're just hitting one person with focus mitts, you're swinging at about 3 or 4 different people. And I could see that. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. That looks effective if done under the right context, the right circumstance. But when I saw his students do it, it looks like they're just fighting one person. Their focus was on the person in front of them. When the instructor, his focus was all over, like basically a 360. So I found that very interesting, and I was like, you know what, that's very effective. If you have like 4 guys jumping you, and they have that hubris that they're gonna cause harm to you because it's 4 against 1, that's actually their weakness. Because now they're no longer in the defense; they're in the offense. So their guard typically goes down, and I could tell you by experience, 4 people trying to hit one person, that's actually not easy, because now you're trying to hit over another person. That does give some advantage to the one defending, again, if done right. So I found it really interesting. I'll be making some videos. Right now, I'm just practicing one technique. It's been a week now, and I've been doing the same technique over and over again in the KC fighting method. I'm like, you know what? That's pretty cool. And honestly, the way I learn it too is to teach it with somebody and to show them and to explain it to them. You know what? This one movement here protects your neck. This one stays close to you. This other movement here shields your face. Now, when you pivot with this movement, you're not just gaining momentum to strike. You're striking when you're throwing it out. So it's an example of how I'm going to explain it. But it's if you're going to learn a martial art and it's your first martial art, I recommend to not look for proficiency on YouTube. Look for a martial arts teacher that has been practicing for some time. Learn from them first. Learn the basics of that martial art. Then when you come back to a YouTube martial art, you can identify some of the movements a lot better. And that helps a lot. I mean, there's a few techniques that I've gotten that I've looked at, and then when I see another video or somebody explains it to me, they're like, "Yeah, that's correct." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool." I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I was able to identify it. So that's the beauty of learning martial arts, not just from don't just focus on the YouTube. And you know what? There are some things, some you could say, I guess, some hidden techniques. I'm not saying anything supernatural, just hidden techniques where a certain martial arts style will use so that other practitioners can identify if it's real or not. I'm not going to expose any of them out of respect to those martial arts styles, but it's certain sounds, certain movements that allow one practitioner to show another practitioner that they learned the martial art correctly, not they didn't pick it up just by watching, So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, so I mean, I heavily talk about martial arts, but um, the gospel of Jesus Christ is important because we're all living to better our life here on earth, but at some point we're not going to be here, and the question is, what did you do to prepare for the life after? We're all going to go somewhere. Something's going to happen, you know. Not I'm not trying to think of it as a gamble, like you should follow Christ because it's the alternative. No, it's I do believe that Christ is alive. He died for our sins, and He's looking for all of us. Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose a few subscribers if they're not in the Christian faith. That's fine because at the end of the day, I can't take all of you with me to the afterlife. I'm gonna have to atone for what I did here. If I lose all my subscribers because I'm talking about the Christian faith, then that's what had to happen. No, I'm not an influencer. I'm not one of those YouTubers that are trying to you know, do things for my own personal gain. I mean, I'm hoping to show value that anybody else can use. If they can't use it, then it's not for you. Um, but I mean, it'd be fantastic if 32,000 subscribers start following the gospel of Jesus Christ because you did your own research and found out that you know it's gonna be what you're gonna take to the afterlife. Mr. Panda, yeah, Tamayo, thank you. Thanks for backing me up. Appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, you know, obviously I don't know everybody who subscribed to me, but I would love if everybody, well, would be up there in heaven at the gate saying like, hey, you know what? Um, I have faith in Jesus Christ, and I'm here, and I'm ready for the next life. That'd be awesome. And that really is the purpose of my channel now. But I do carry some of the old things I think about martial arts. I do like posting funny things. I'll post a random funny thing. I mean, I have a few employees that see my channel and they're thinking like, wow, so that's what the boss does in his free time. Funny, goofy videos. I have one about those sponge daddies. I was washing a pan one time and it looked just freaky with the sponge holder. When I looked at it, it looked creepy, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna upload that, and it's in there. It's really recent actually. But again, that's what my channel's about. It's basically it's pretty random. I follow a lot of influencers as well, and I see what they're doing, and they all look very professional. My hat off to them because it's not easy editing a video. A lot of them hire people. They hire a team. I don't have a team. My team is my family. Give me ideas. Support me. They'll watch the video at home and be like, "Oh, that's pretty funny." But I don't really have a team, a tech team. So it's just me talking like right now, and that's how it's gonna be probably for a good while. I mean, I right now I'm not getting monetized. The option is there, but I still gotta fill in a few requirements. But even if I did, I'd still be in the same situation where gotta work 50, 60 hours a week. Spend time with my family, very important. Spend time in the faith. Pick up my Bible, make time for church. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and then when there's time for a YouTube video, I'm gonna toss one in there. Just like right now. So um, hope all of you enjoy my content. If you're watching me, hope I can provide some entertainment or some insight on whatever topic it is that I'm throwing out there. And that's pretty much it. It's time to get some groceries. Little tidbit that I use when I buy groceries, I look at the Ibotta app. Very good app. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but the Ibotta app can make some good money. I think I already passed $1,000 of cash back on Ibotta. I've had it for the past 5 years now, so cool. All right, guys, have a great day.